G'day folks, Mad Aussie here and welcome to the Aussie Report. What I've got for you this time is South Australian government and corruption and elder abuse. So what's happened is an elderly man has been forced out of his home and into hospital and has been kept there under forced care for a couple of years now. There's a video from the police body cams which was obtained via a Freedom of Information Act request, FOIA request, and the son-in-law has left a message or a comment on one of my videos there, showing this video, and he has a description there of background and current events. And so I asked him if there's any updates to that, anything recent, and so he's given me some recent information as well. So I'm going to read out the background for you guys. I'll play bits of the video. I'd rather you guys go to his Rumble page and watch it there and give him some, love and comments and likes and all that sort of stuff there. And then I'm going to read out his updated information after the video. The extensive entrapment and subsequent cover-up of what has happened to the man in this video could happen to any person, anywhere. There is no medical science involved, just political thuggery, bureaucratic corruption, and ongoing lawfare to keep the man imprisoned. Beware, it could happen to you or anyone in your family. Okay, and then it goes into the background. 5 weeks before the house raid in this video, the man in the video went to the Royal Adelaide Hospital for pneumonia treatment and recovered after 2 weeks being there. But during the 2 weeks, the RAH said that he had brain damage and should be put on morphine to peacefully pass away. Lorelei, the daughter, checked and saw the man fully conscious, speaking normally and moving normally, so she smuggled in food to the RAH to keep him alive. The RAH forbid him being given food. Lorelei got caught once for giving him a cup of milk, and the RAH called a code black on her. The situation was so terrible that the man, already fully recovered from pneumonia, wanted to get a transfer to a private hospital, but the RAH blocked each transfer. He then discharged himself to go to another hospital for a checkup, leading to the house raid. The time that the man had recovered from pneumonia in the RAH was 2 weeks, and so there was no medical reason for the man to stay in the RAH for a further 3 weeks. The RAH was getting paid by the man's private insurance at private hospital rates, and so for 5 full weeks the RAH made a lot of money out of him. And then moves on to current situation. The RAH, quite literally, was trying to starve him to death so as to justify their passing away decision. When he was back at the house, he was still suffering the effects of the morphine that the RAH had given him, but the paramedic at the house, without doing any mental capacity test, decided that he had lost his mental capacity, thereby getting the SACAT to order a government guardian for the man. The paramedic skipped other guardian options, like the daughter, who has a nursing qualification as an aged carer and was both primary carer and next of kin of the man. And so SACAT appointed a guardian of last resort, a government guardian. There was no legitimate medical reason to take away his mental capacity rights and other freedoms. The man was forcibly sent back to the RAH when he was happy to go to any private hospital, seeing as he had private health insurance, which allowed him to choose any hospital. The government guardian kept him locked up in the RAH for a further 5 weeks after the house raid. All the while, the daughter continued smuggling food in to the man because the RAH wouldn't feed him properly. The RAH continued to have him doped up on morphine, so that when the SACAT hearing came up 3 weeks later to reinstate the emergency orders, he fell asleep during the hearing due to the morphine dosage, so he couldn't argue his case in the SACAT hearing. This was a complete sabotage of his hearing by the RAH. Even at a later SACAT hearing held in November 2019, The RAH lied about a Section 32 detention order to lock him in his bedroom so he couldn't attend the hearing in person to plead his case. It was only when the police, which on this occasion they had acted lawfully, unlike the house raid, which were different police officers from a different station, they told the RAH to let the man attend the hearing. The RAH finally let him go. It was another attempt by the RAH to sabotage his hearing. Since then, the government guardian has had the man locked away in a dementia ward at a nursing home where he had been for the past 2 years, when he does not have dementia. Next is titled Legal Injustice, Catch-22 and Lawfare. After the house raid, and the man having lost his legal mental capacity rights, he then wrote the RAH asking questions about why he was put on morphine, fentanyl, and why were capacity tests taken whilst on these drugs. These drugs seriously impair mental and cognitive activity, and so any capacity tests are invalid. But because he is under guardianship, he therefore has no authority to ask any questions. Hence, the RAH just ignored his questions. Even when a FOIA request was made for the information, including his medical files, the guardian didn't allow him to get the information. Keeping all the evidence away from the victim makes it near impossible for the victim to defend himself. Plus, he is trying to do all this whilst locked away in a hospital bedroom and later in a dementia ward. The government has created a catch-22 situation whereby he is put under guardian, who then never lets him question or challenge why he was put under a guardian. He was secretly drugged meritazapine, which was kept off the chart to keep him dopey. There was a review of SACAT emergency orders that the man have a government guardian and public administration oversee his estate. But SACAT simply rejected the review hearing ever happened. This has happened on 2 other occasions. And so we'll go now into the video and we'll click through that. It is a little disturbing if you've been in these circumstances yourself, but again, I'm not going to play all of it because I want you guys to go and watch it all on his channel and get the views up there. It's about 17 minutes altogether, what he has, and I'm just going to play maybe 5 minutes worth, okay?
Whether a private would accept him having not been discharged from the Royal Adelaide. They told me to do it. Well, so that's not the story that we're getting. No, this was a week or 2 ago. Yeah. The private hospital said that was a week or 2 ago. Okay, private, completely separate. I don't know who you've spoken to look at the hard facts. Look, I admit I love paramedics. I've actually, we think you guys are great. I do love police as well. I know they don't always like lawyers and that. I'm sorry about that. But we do love all you guys. If I would encourage to allow you to take him to any hospital, private, but the RA, to the emergency of any hospital, but the RA. That's what I would, and I think willing for that, but absolutely not the RA. While the police are here and they've got their recordings on, you start telling them why you don't like the Royal Adelaide. So I want it on the record, okay? I want it on the record.
Let's get behind me. I'm just wondering how many people now need to be involved if the plan's happening in the back. It's one of those slow jobs that's just going to take a while, I think.
A bit concerned if she's got children upstairs, so might try and look into that a bit more, I think.
Yeah, well, the husband apparently is here.
With 3 kids. Yeah. I just got the details.
So the reasons why you didn't want to stay in the Royal. I was just getting him while you're recording it to give reasons why he doesn't want to be at the Royal Adelaide.
Can I grab your details, please? What was your first name again? Lorelei, was it?
Yeah, that's
How do you spell that?
Lorelei. No, the little one's breastfed. Yeah. So he sleeps with me. This one's his cot, that one's his cot, but this one's just rolled over now. Okay.
Good, and they're okay, we think. So we would hear them crying if they were crying.
Those two
Let's
will
not
be
take him
okay.
downstairs unless we. I don't really want him to be exposed to all them.
Oh, don't you?
I'll
sit out in the other room. I don't really want to leave him by himself. Those two will be all right. But this one, now that Neil's come down, because Neil was looking after him.
Okay.
Now that Neil's Fred at hospital, I have already arranged for him this morning to go to hospital.
Just stop.
The issue is, we don't want him, and he doesn't want to go, and never wanted to go to the RA, but when I called the ambulance for him to go a few weeks ago, I said he doesn't want to go to the RA. I didn't stress the point. And they took him to the RA, and the RA has been blocking all his transfers to private hospital to try to keep control over him against his will.
Very little advice.
And so the legal advice I got yesterday, he felt ready to come home and get private treatment, and we had already been into the private hospital yesterday to make sure he can go in today. The RA is saying no, he has to come back to them, and
you took him you took him out of a hospital
the
without
issue is
telling anyone. You basically kidnapped him from hospital.
the lawyers told me yesterday, go and get him.
No lawyer would tell you
He
that.
hadn't been.
Well, I think he has.
Every time when he wants to leave somewhere, I go and pick him up because he requests it. So they had not him, so I was allowed to accept his word on it.
Because we will always agree to disagree on that thing. Treatment hospital where he's having drugs.
I would have had him.
What's your plan?
This has all been ramped up.
Yep.
Little schmear.
The RAA.
Now we're allowed to just. Okay, that's all official now.
Yep.
So it's not wishy-washy. Special paramedic. Ambulance due to the driveway.
Yep.
As soon as that's here, I think then we'll explain it to Neil.
They're going off, but we're all safe and under control. Yeah.
We came this guy
She took him out of the hospital this morning. Kidnapped him.
Yeah,
Neil.
the ambulance crews that are in attendance here have just been given permission using.
Say, and then I think we just have to.
Well, obviously, if we'll wait and see. The senior officer.
Yeah, sorry, sir. I'm acting on that order, and that order is official. So I appreciate you calling me on the phone, but. If you have any issues with that, you need to call them.
Yes, of course. They're waiting for me at the church right now.
Oh, okay. What church do you attend?
Not a problem. Thank you. Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, look, don't worry about that. Just do it.
He's just a
Let's just do it. Yeah, it's okay. That's fine. Let's just you do what you need to do.
Yeah,
These people will be here. Make sure you do it safely.
Okay.
Right. All right. Hello.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Just talk,
I will
okay?
speak.
You're breaking the law.
You and I will continue to speak. Okay. All right. So please let the other officers do what they're doing.
Please.
Well, give me the baby and I'll go upstairs.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate
But
that.
you're breaking the law. Be warned.
So please.
So the barrister's main.
Okay, so it might have been a little bit hard to follow the story there, clicking through it like that, but like I said, go watch it there, give him the views please and the recognition. I'm sure he wants to get this story out, that'll be why he shared it with me, so yeah, go take a look. So what I've got next for you is his updated information that is just recently written out. This says, the Government Guardian had the mail of my father-in-law redirected back to the Government Guardian without my father-in-law knowing it or approving it. So all medical evidence that supported his full mental capacity was being kept away from him, no matter how much evidence he was able to obtain. It was only by chance that a medical report was intercepted with the redirected address still written on the envelope to send to the Government Guardian, before it was posted off to the Government Guardian, that my father-in-law was able to read the report and find out that he was being secretly drugged up on mirtazapine. The tablets were crushed up by staffers so as not to show he was getting the drug, and the drug was kept off the drug charts. This secret drugging made him look dopey all through 2020, whilst he was battling away in the Supreme Court to defend himself, and no one was told about the drugging going on. Not even the Supreme Court was told. The secret drugging and secret redirecting of his mail was a blatant attempt by the government to sabotage his legal action by making him look dopey, as if he had lost his mental capacity and not being able to obtain medical evidence to defend himself. All this is despicable, disgusting, dishonest and corrupt conduct by the government. And finishing off, he says, there have been 2 Supreme Court actions, one in 2020 before Justice Livesey, when the government agreed to have my father-in-law sent home, and after 7 months of court action, the government simply ignored the court's findings. Hence, a second Supreme Court action commenced in 2021, and an agreement was made with the government to have a revocation application made before SACAT to release him from the current detention orders, etc. But SACAT has ignored the Supreme Court and allowed delays to go on and on and on, with directional hearings that never solve the matter. In other words, delays means my father-in-law stays locked away, i.e. justice delayed is justice denied. The government and SACAT can delay the revocation hearings indefinitely so as to win by default, as a resolution is never attempted. Never-ending hearings just keeps my father-in-law locked away and costs him $1,000 per week in expenses. His debts are being deliberately inflated by the government guardians as an economic weapon against him, all along with the drama of court and SACAT action. Secret drugging, ostracized from family and friends. Lockdowns means that no visitors for months. Injuries occurred while he was in detention ward. Some of his skin sores became cancerous, and he went through radiation therapy during 2020. Plus the psychological and moral pressure to make him give up. The government even tried to sell up his home to demoralize him. The government has tried the most horrific attempts to destroy my elderly father-in-law. And that is the end from the son-in-law there. So yeah, go and watch the full video. Leave a comment in his description there, below his video. Hit the Rumble like or whatever it is. He's on the videos on Rumble. The link will be in description below. And yeah, go show him some love and share that around, please. Share it everywhere. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next episode.
Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me.